Caitlin Clark hasn't forgotten those who helped her become the star she is today. Her message of gratitude to Raina Harmon. The former Iowa superstar celebrated her longtime mentor. Caitlin Clark didn't hesitate to send love to one of the most important figures in her basketball journey, and she made sure the whole world saw it. After Florida Gulf Coast head coach Raina Harmon engineered a stunning 66-62 upset over previously undefeated Stanford, Clark jumped on Instagram to celebrate the coach who helped shape her college career at Iowa. Yes sir, at Raina 15, Clark wrote, reposting a video of FGCU players showering Harmon in water inside the locker room after the program's first ever win over the Cardinal. The victory snapped an 0-4 historical streak and marked one of the Eagles' biggest non-conference triumphs in years. Harmon, who took over the program after Carl Smesko departed for the WNBA, has kept FGCU rolling. Harmon played a major role in Clark's success in the NCAA. Harmon inherited a powerhouse that finished 30-4 last season, then swept the Atlantic Sun regular season and secured the program's 11th NCAA tournament berth in 14 years. But the win over Stanford meant something more. I know it's a big win, but what we did tonight is really a testament to the non-conference schedule we've taken on, Harmon said. We followed the scouting report, trusted each other, and executed offensively. I'm super proud of them. Go Eagles! For Clark, the accomplishment is personal. Harmon spent 8 years on the Iowa staff, helping guide the Hawkeyes to a 208-63 record, 5 Big Ten titles, and the development of multiple WNBA players, including Clark herself, now a number 1 overall pick and the 2024 Rookie of the Year. Clark and Harmon's bond has lasted well beyond Iowa City, with the Indiana Fever star consistently showing support for Harmon's milestones. When Harmon was officially named FGCU's head coach earlier this year, Clark was among the first to celebrate. It's go Eagles now. At Raina 15 earned it. Even in the WNBA spotlight, Clark's heart and her loyalty remains firmly tied to the people who helped build her legacy. The roar of WNBA arenas has become a familiar soundtrack to Caitlin Clark's young career, a blend of awe, excitement, and expectation. Fans have seen her fire three-pointers from distances that seem barely possible, thread passes through windows that shouldn't exist, and carry herself with the confidence of someone who knows exactly where she's headed. But Caitlin Clark is the first to admit that she didn't arrive at this moment alone. Behind the highlight reels and the headlines are the people who shaped her, steadied her, challenged her, and believed in her long before the rest of the world did. And among those names, one stands out with deep significance: Raina Harmon. Raina, who worked closely with Clark during her collegiate rise at Iowa, wasn't just a coach. To Caitlin, she was a constant. One of those rare figures who combined honesty with compassion and instruction with empowerment. She wasn't afraid to push, wasn't hesitant to praise, and never lost sight of the young woman behind the superstar in progress. Now, with Clark's career unfolding on the national stage, she felt compelled to send a message that millions would see, but one intended for only one person. It began with a simple post on social media. A throwback photo, Clark in her Iowa jersey, sweat pouring down her face, Harmon standing behind her, clipboard in hand, offering a look that blended encouragement and expectation. But the real heart of the message was in the caption. I hope you know I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you for helping me become the player and the person I am today. Those words quickly resonated across fan communities, sports outlets, and locker rooms alike. But for Caitlin, it wasn't about attention. It was closure, gratitude, and acknowledgement all wrapped together. An overdue tribute to a coach who never asked for credit but deserved so much of it. Caitlin remembered vividly the first practice Raina attended after joining the Iowa staff. It was a regular preseason drill, nothing fancy, but Raina watched with an unusual stillness. She wasn't dazzled by Caitlin's scoring ability, everyone was. What she paid attention to was the hesitation between moves, the brief flicker of frustration after a missed shot, the way the young guard carried not just talent but pressure. Later that afternoon, Harmon pulled Clark aside. You're not trying to be good, Raina said. You're trying to be perfect. And perfection doesn't win games. Poise does. Purpose does. Let's work on that. From that moment, a foundation was laid between them, built on trust and clarity. There were days when Raina would be the one pushing Caitlin to embrace uncomfortable growth, telling her to widen her vision on the court, to lead with her voice, to stop trying to carry every burden alone. There were other days when she would sit quietly with her star player after practice, listening more than speaking, offering understanding rather than instruction. Most coaches teach you how to play the game. The rare ones teach you how to be yourself inside it. Harmon did both. As Caitlin transitioned from standout college athlete to WNBA phenomenon, the challenges naturally grew. New critics, new pressures, new responsibilities. The lights were brighter, the cameras closer, the expectations heavier. But even from afar, Caitlin could still hear Harmon's words, play with purpose. Lead with gratitude. That mantra had followed Caitlin into every locker room she'd entered since. And so the message she shared publicly wasn't spontaneous. It was something she'd carried for years. The timing made sense too. Raina Harmon had recently celebrated a milestone in her own coaching journey, earning recognition for her contributions to player development across women's basketball. As messages of praise came pouring in, Caitlin realized it was the perfect moment to speak from the heart. In her longer follow-up message to the press later that week, Clark elaborated. Coach Harmon was one of the first people who treated me like more than a scorer. She challenged me to be thoughtful, to be fearless, and to be accountable. She didn't just coach my game, she coached my character. I'll forever be grateful for that. Fans often see the final product of greatness. The game-winning shots, the records, the awards, the jersey sales. What they rarely see are the voices behind the scenes that mold the athlete's foundation. And Clark wanted to remind the world that her success was layered with the work, dedication, and belief of others. It wasn't the first time Caitlin had expressed gratitude toward those who guided her, but something about her message to Harmon felt different, more personal, more reflective. Fame hadn't blurred her memories, success hadn't erased her roots. If anything, reaching the WNBA had made them sharper. In interviews, Clark often credits her family, her teammates, her coaches, and her community. But Harmon's influence had always been quietly profound. During recruitment days, she had helped Caitlin navigate difficult decisions. During tough games, she had been the calming presence urging her to breathe and reset. And during major highs, she had been the voice reminding Clark to stay grounded. People like that are rare. And unforgettable. The reaction from fans was immediate. Comments flooded in expressing admiration for Clark's humility, for her acknowledgement of those who helped fuel her ascent. Many praised the sincerity of the message.